when people are coming to Broadside and they've do you usually get a lot of people that have never heard anything or have never experienced hunting before? Like, what's
Yeah.
that sort of situation like?
Yeah. So I would say probably very similar to you. 90% of the people come, I've listened to a Rogan podcast. They've
Mm,
listened to, they watch Meat Eater on Netflix,
yep.
or they've seen Cameron Haynes on Instagram, or, whoever else who's into hunting. And they're like, oh, hold on. They've heard them kind of, talk about it and say, oh, there's something to this. And
Yeah.
so I guess that's what I'm trying to do is bridge the gap and give new people who want to get into hunting the foundations to be able to do it themselves. And I think that's really important to just do it the right way.
Mm,
And I kind of nurture the journey that they're on and make sure that that I'm not saying that we're right with everything. There's everyone has a different way of doing things, but for people who, like you said, like they don't know anything, it's like I just want to give them as much information as they can to be able to utilize that and then continue, like what we're saying, this narrative of just being respectful of the animals and only taking what you need and things like that. So it's
mm,
definitely like part of the business is just to kind of educate people in that aspect of firstly conservation,
yep.
food supply, the health benefits of literally just being in the bush, being outside, camping, whatever it comes. All these things kind of go hand in hand that build up a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, what's most of people's sort of first reaction when they like? I mean, are you guys hunting them when on the first? Because I know you got two tiers.
We got two tiers. We've got a beginner course, and so that's
Yep.
strict for people who have basically got little to no experience, or maybe they have a bit of experience, but they just want to hone their skills. So our beginner course, the guests don't physically hunt themselves. So
Yep.
I can't. Firstly, if you want to hunt with a rifle, you need a gun, firearm license, all this kind of
Mm,
stuff. So most people don't have that. A bow you can go and buy from a shop with no license. That's all great, but you need to practice for a year, 2 years just to become proficient with a bow
yep.
to be able to make an ethical shot. So most of the guys we get are just in that point where they're trying to decide where they want to go and with hunting and things like that. So it's just dipping their toe in. So on our beginner course, essentially they'll do everything but fire a weapon, a
Yep.
bow, whatever.
Yep.
So let's just say you come and do the course, you tag along with me, we go out, say I shoot a deer. From there, once I let go of an arrow or shoot it with a gun or whatever, it's pretty much all hands on from you and me. So I'll basically teach you how to butcher it. You pack it into your backpack, carry it off the mountain, heavy pack, walking out, get
Yep.
to take that meat home and then share with your family, friends, whoever else. So the
Mm,
beginner course is essentially that, we go over a lot of different, obviously while we're in the field, there's stalking techniques, there's how to work wind and thermal pressure and things like that. There's a lot of stuff that
mm,
goes into it that you can only get once you've had a bit of experience. So it's kind of giving all that information in a weekend where we're out staying in the bush. We've got a cabin and stuff up there. So you're really
yep.
trying to immerse them in what it's like to be a hunter, I guess. And so
Mm,
the way that we do it is kind of like a hunting camp because a lot of people's first interactions might be just, they'll go out with a mate on a mate's farm with a ute. They'll drive around at night and spotlight, maybe shoot a
yeah.
kangaroo, whatever it is. So
Mm,
it is a kind of a bigger step into that more adventure based kind of hunting
yeah.
compared to, say, walking in a paddock. But I think that's the best way to dip people's toes in is to give them like the authentic experience and give them
Mm,
something that they can sink their teeth into and really like feel like. Don't get me wrong, you're going to finish the weekend absolutely rooted. Like you'll be like, oh,
yeah.
that was hard because you're walking up and down mountains and you're doing
Yeah.
10, 15 k's a day, so it's not easy.
Mm,
But yeah, that's kind of the basis around the beginning course and getting people into it. And then we've got an advanced course, which is essentially a guided hunt. So you get to physically hunt the animals yourself, but
yep.
you'll have one of the guides with you just to point you in the right direction, make sure we're going areas where there's animals. And, if you shoot one, then we can help you pack it out and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a kind of I've got a good friend of mine, Nick, he's a chef and he comes down and cooks up all the game meat as well. So
Mm,
what we'll do at the end of a course, we might shoot a deer and we'll keep it in our freezer there. And so once we get up there, you want people to be there eating like from a professional chef, so to speak,
yep. Yep.
eating like amazing food. And they're just like, a lot of them haven't had venison before. And you're cooking up something, and they're like, holy shit! Like I didn't think it tasted like this. This tastes not too
Mm,
similar to beef, but better.
mm,
people get shocked, and doing like goat curries and things like that. It's absolutely phenomenal food. So that's a real, like, we're just trying to give them a really well-rounded experience. So when they leave on the end of the weekend, they're like, man, that's cool. Like, this is something that I can see myself doing for as long as I can walk, basically.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's amazing.